The Great October Socialist Revolution was an event that changed the world. It demonstrated to the world that the working class and popular masses could take power, overthrow capitalism and build a new world free of wars and exploitation. For the first time, this idea that existed only in theory was put into practice. Revolutionary measures implemented by the Bolsheviks included nationalizing the banks, key sectors of economy and monopolies, redistributing the land, developing women's rights in order to put an end to their oppression, and bestowing the right to self-determination to the national minorities that were in Tsarist Russia, enclosed in a prison for nations. These are all measures taken by the revolutionary Soviet state that inspired the working class and popular masses throughout the world. For the first time, they were able to appreciate the difference between their capitalist state and the new state built by and for the workers, peasants, and popular masses. The impact of the October Socialist Revolution on the working class movement was almost immediate throughout the world. The Spartakist League and Hungarian Soviets' attempt to build a similar society represent perhaps the two main examples of the influence of the October Revolution on the peoples of the world. This influence was enough to challenge the bourgeoisie's hegemony, provoking ferocious reactions from the ruling class. They viciously repressed all attempts of the working class to organize. It also led to the invasion of the Soviet Republic by 13 countries, including Canada. In Canada, this invasion was, however, never supported by the workers and popular masses. The October Revolution didn't bring only sympathy from Canada's working class. It also inspired struggles for revolutionary and social transformation in our country, which included struggles for a significant increase of wages, labor and democratic rights, such as the extension of the right to vote to women and unemployment insurance. These struggles were met with Canada's government applying War Measures Act. In 1919, the Winnipeg General Strike that mobilized over 200,000 workers at its peak showed that there was in Canada a deep desire for change. In consequence, the working class in Canada tried as early as 1919 to build a party of a new type, a party of the working class whose aim is socialism that embraces Marxism-Leninism outview of the world and the Leninist principle of organization. It is thus in May 1921, in a barn in Guelph, Ontario, that the Communist Party of Canada was born under the hostile conditions of clandestinity. The creation of the Communist Party, a party that still exists and will continue existing as long as the working class and popular masses won't have achieved the socialist revolution, literally changed the dynamic in the progressive movements in Canada. Its influence in different mass movements such as the labor, women's and peace movement have led to significant victories of the working class. However, perhaps one of the most important achievements of the Communist Party has to do with its influence amongst the youth. As early as 1923, the party understood that the next generation would be called to continue fighting for socialism and had therefore to be formed to the struggle in a particular way. This led to the creation of the Young Workers' League, the ancestor of the Young Communist League of Canada, which is a key component of the continuous renewal of the life forces for the communist movement. Today, celebrating the October Socialist Revolution is more than just celebrating a historical event. Despite the counter-revolution in the USSR and in the Eastern Bloc, socialism remains a necessity for our class and our generation, especially now that we are facing the increased aggressivity of imperialism, capitalism leading to the serious danger of war. As October Revolution showed the path to people's resistance and liberation, the youth cannot forget that communists are the ones to first have talked and mobilized for peace and anti-imperialism and anti-colonialism. The youth cannot forget that communists are the ones to first have guaranteed significant rights to women and marginalized people. The youth cannot forget that communists were the ones to first have tried to reach a democratic solution to national oppression. The youth cannot forget, in short, that even 100 years after the October Socialist Revolution, this event, rather than an event of the past, is an event of the future. Capitalism has nothing else to offer than crisis, exploitation, and war, whereas socialism has a whole new world to propose.